I'll tell you what. Let's keep it. The world's changing.
Spider-Man Homecoming presents the second reboot of Spider-Man in the last 10 years. Not only that, but it's the first standalone film in the MCU for a pre-introduced character. Introducing the character before the standalone movie gives more time to tell a Spider-Man story and not an origin story. So, a chance to bring it back to the core of the character. I'll admit, I initially was skeptic.
And I will do it for you. Baby, I'm not moving on. I'll love you long after you're gone.
After a few watches, I can safely say it's great. And miles ahead of this. Get it? Miles.
It's pretty ballsy. I don't want those weapons in this neighborhood. I got a nephew who live here.
One scene in particular really stood out, and it's a scene that isn't in many modern superhero movies. It's the scene where the secret identities are revealed. There's a recent trend with studios to take an indie film director and attach them on a project, give them lots of money, and tell them what to do. A lot of these movies sort of lack a style to them, and often feel like products. Homecoming has a certain punch to it. It's framed as a John Hughes movie, but with superheroes. This means dealing with the day-to-day struggles of high school. Things like not paying attention in class, extracurriculars, not having friends, sucking with girls. These elements help us connect to the character, as we can all relate to those things. This framing elevates the identity reveal scene, because the scene is really just a scene about meeting your girlfriend's parents. It does all the classic dad tropes, offering a drink.
You want something to drink, like a bourbon or a scotch or something like that?
I'm not old enough to drink.
Getting his name wrong.
Freddy?
Peter.
Come on, Pedro.
The old dad talk.
I'm gonna give Peter the dad talk.
It's a moment people can connect with, opening the door and seeing the father of your prom date, but it gives it a whole new meaning here. Hell, I wouldn't want to mess with Michael Keaton either. Also, I'm so glad they didn't include this clip in the trailer.
Put her there. Hell of a grip.
Unlike this one.
It's a pleasure. Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
The car ride to prom is tense, and with a few visual cuts, the Vulture discovers Peter's identity, adding a new complication. It didn't have to be said, just shown visually.
Peter Parker.
I said visually. There's some great lighting effects as new information is revealed, adding increased intensity to the Vulture's character. The light turns red as he puts the pieces together. When the light turns green, he starts putting a plan into action.
Good old Spider-Man.
The scene reminded me a lot of the Green Goblin scene from the first Spider-Man, visually showing the revelation. But that's not why the scene is so great. Sure, it helps, but this is the scene where Peter needs to make a decision. Under the guise of Spider-Man, he can get away with interfering with the Vulture's plans, go to prom, and have it all. This roadblock makes it so he's risking everything.
Because if you do, I'll kill you and everybody you love.
Choices like this really showcase what Spider-Man is at his core. This is the moment where he puts back on the real Spider-Man suit and becomes a superhero. While I may still be skeptical on his inclusion in the MCU, this scene shows that the essence of Spider-Man was rediscovered. It showcases a tense and thrilling sequence that doesn't need a beam in the sky, explosions, or a city getting demolished. It's just three people in a car, avoiding the elephant in the room.
I am the Rhino! I told you I would be back!
I said elephant.